Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of my Hornby hobby. So, I recently had this idea to show you how I detail the cab detail. So as you can see, there's nothing there. It's moulded, yes, but it's not painted, so you can't really see much of it, you know. So I'm going to show my method for doing this, and I only really use three colours: a matte 34 white, a matte 60 red, and a matte 12. The white I use for the gauges, the red I use for the regulator, and obviously this slightly copper colour I use for the pipe work. So first I just figure out where best to start. So I think we'll do... Where even is the regulator on this? Doesn't seem to be one. So we'll do the gauges first. So the water gauges, temperature gauges, the gauges basically. And you won't need a paintbrush for this because a paintbrush is too thick. What I use are toothpicks because they are just the right size. So make sure you've got a bit of tissue handy. So once you've found your locomotive that you want to use and figured out the way that you want to do it, etc. Good job of... Always make sure you've got extra paint, guys, because that one was just note-like. This is bad planning on my account. So that needs a good mix. So mix it all up nice and gently until it turns white. Yeah, that's looking good. And there we go. Not a very well organised video this, but I think it's important to show everything live to camera. So get your toothpick and you just want the tiniest dab of paint. So you pick out the detail that you want. So I'm going with the water gauges up at the top. So you just literally use it as if it was a brush, but ever so carefully. Okay, so can you see that little speck of white up on the roof there? So that's one of the water gauges. So now just do this one next to it. And there's also circular mouldings, which I'm guessing are also gauges for like air brakes or whatever else. So I just pick them out in basically the same way. And basically that's all there is to it. There you go. That's a nice looking gauge. Now you don't have to use Humbrol paint. You can use acrylic. Okay, so I believe that's all the gauges. I also use red for the valves, I should mention. For like the taps, you know. So get that bit there. Okay. And you might just be able to see that the water gauges and the two upper gauges have been picked out. Okay, that's basically all there is to it. I like to use different cocktail sticks for different types of paint. So there's one specifically for white, there's one specifically for red. So that's the white done with. So grab the red. I can't see this going well because I think the red might be, yeah, the red's pretty much end of its life, but it's still good. He says. Yeah, it's a bit lumpy, so I don't think that'll be any good. Okay, so that's another paint I've got to throw away. But luckily, I always have spares. Always make sure you've got spares of your paints, guys. It really does help. Okay, so again, just stir that. It's best to practice on a locomotive that you don't care about at first. Like, I don't really care about this body because I don't have the golden plover. It's not going to run on my track. Probably never will. Maybe one day it will. But if it does, then I've got the bodies all sorted and ready. So, shift that. So, just a bit of red. Find the valves. And then just draw on them, if you like. Even if it just turns out as splotches. Don't know if you can see, but there is a red dot there, which is picking out one of the valves. Because at least then, you've picked out the details. Then there's some valves up on the roof there, which also need picking out. Again, just take your time with doing this. That's the best advice I can give. Because it is such a shame that a lot of Loco manufacturers, they just don't seem to care. The molded detail's there, but they don't paint it. And yet they charge an astronomical price for something that doesn't have detail. Right, okay, onto the copper. So here we go. And again, same technique. Make sure your paints are well shaken up. Okay. And then here's my toothpick, especially for gold paint, or copper paint rather. And yeah, just then rub it along where the mouldings of the pipework are. And so on and so forth. Okay, so I hope you can see that just about. So there's the gauges, valves and pipework, and if you just keep at it for a period of time, then you'll end up, mind your back guys, you'll end up with something that looks like that. Look at that. So I've also picked out the handle for the firebox with a bit of silver. And yeah, it's basically this exact same basic body. There's the regulator. It's a twin control thing. But yeah, there you go. That's what you can do with paint and a toothpick. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Always much appreciated. And until next time, stay safe and thanks for watching.